This is where we left off on the Morav. We just did a bake of all of our maps. But for this, what we did in the bake was, for the curvature, we generated from the normal map, which actually works really well in a lot of scenarios. But I did some testing of the paint, and I want to go back to generate from mesh, and I'm going to show you why. We come in here, and I come up to our curvature map. All right, so this is the results we get. Now, in some cases, I'm going to want all this little tiny fine detail because it's really going to help me build up a shader and, highlight where this curvature is. But because we did so much high frequency detail on the mesh with the damage, that this ended up not working the way I wanted. So I came back in and I did another bake, and here's a little preview of the paint material we're going to make. But if we look at the curvature here, all right, so let's go to curvature. You're going to see that we get a lighter map. It's more grayscale. We still have a lot of detail, but the contrast of that detail is not pushed beyond the limit, right? So, and I'll show you the difference, right? So this is our original generated curvature from the normal map of the damage detail we did. And then this is it without the bake, like that. All right, so I'm going to show you the difference with this material. So if we hit the M key, and this is the material we're going to make. It's kind of a paint peel material. You can see the edges curling up, things like that. And then we can control how much paint or metal is revealed. And we can layer on a whole bunch of stuff, dirt, grime, distortion, things like that, right? Now, if we take this same material and I apply it to the other model, the same exact material, using a different curvature map, you'll see the difference, right? So this, besides showing you the preview of the difference of the curvature map, I'm going to show you exactly what it does to the model. So if we come back here, I hit the M key. I'm going to look for my paint peel that I made. Smart materials. And I'll drag this on. Let me take a screenshot of this. And let's pull up our other window. And let's look at the difference. All right, so look at all the detail in here working with this curvature map compared to this, right? Yeah, there's some stuff going on, but it's really not working with all the edges and the cracks and the things like that. So for what we're doing, I'm going to rebake just the curvature map of the texture sets, and then we'll move on to the paint. All right, so let's do that now. Just going to do a rebake. All right, so this is where we last left off. I'm going to delete this material. We're going to go back up into our bake, and then I'm going to keep everything on, but I'm going to go into the curvature map, and I'm going to change it from generate from normal map to generate from mesh. I'll keep everything on, but I'm going to turn off everything except curvature. I don't need to bake everything again. But unfortunately, I have to do this for every texture set. But luckily, the curvature remembers what we're doing, right? All right, so I'm going to double check, just make sure that each texture set is generate from mesh, and only our curvature is on, because that's all we're baking. And then I'm going to bake selected textures. And you'll see already the difference in contrast and darkness between the old curvature map and the newly generated one. So that is done. We'll return to painting mode. We have our new curvature map. There it is. It's a bunch lighter than it was before. So I'm going to save this as, all right, we'll keep the bake as a bake. And I'm going to save as 3 paint version 2 V01A. And I like capital A's. now that's saving, and from here we're going to start building up our paint, but there's a lot going on in the paint shader, so I'm just going to take my time and go through each section. So let's do that next.